Hey guys, Colin here, just with a few records that I found yesterday and a movie box set. But I picked up a few records yesterday at the Love Garden, and here they are. This is one of the oddballs that I like getting, and that's Sounds Out of This World Stereophonic Balance Test Demonstration. And somebody stamped it over here December 29th, 1959. And this is one of those where you test your speakers and your stereo sound system, uh, stereophonic volume balance, some other weird stuff, crosswalk test, cross modulation test, stylus tracking test. And there's a demonstration section. Surrey with the Fringe, Up to Jupiter, Mambo del Quado, Kambasi, Sweet Sue, Joey, Topaz, and the Jamaican Rumba. And that's that. And I guess it's one of those where it goes back and forth between your speakers. And the way I have them now, I don't have a lot of room in here, so my speakers are like right next to each other, so I'm not getting the full stereo sound at the moment. Hopefully in a month or two when I can get my own place. Now I had to put that off for a bit because my work has extended. I'm not off of work until June 26th, and then I can start looking for a place to move to. And also, I don't exactly want to go running out of here at the moment when my mom's going through all of her medical issues. I wanted to kind of wait until we got through that. Just an update on that. She is done with chemo and radiation now. She's finally done, and she's already starting to feel better. I took her out today. We went to the post office and running around to the store and pharmacy and things. So she's getting somewhat back to what she likes to do. And back on to the records. I picked up another copy of Easy Star All Stars Dub Side of the Moon. I found this at the Love Garden. I already had this. I ordered it through the mail, and it's on a clear green vinyl, but it's warped. When I got it in the mail, it was warped, and I don't have one of those flattening devices. So when I seen this, I was like, all right. So I checked it over real good, and it's not warped, and I already played it, and it sounds real good. And this one's on a green marble vinyl, and it's kind of see-through also. And this is a good record if you have not heard it, or you have not heard of Easy Star and All Stars. You can listen to this whole thing on YouTube. The Dub Side of the Moon. It's a make of Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon. I don't want to say a remake, but it's a reinterpretation, I should say. And it's really good. Check it out. It's on YouTube. The whole album, you can listen to it there. And they did release a couple more. There's a Beatles one, I believe, that they copied or reimagined. And I don't quite like that one. But this one I like, and I highly recommend this if you get it. And I'm still on my Gil Scott-Heron trip, so I picked up these represses. His 70s period albums are very good. I highly recommend some Gil Scott-Heron. And another Gil Scott-Heron, Free Will. It's a mixture of jazz, a little funk, spoken word, a little. It's a mix of everything, folk. But these are very good albums. If you can find one now, they're repressing them. They're repressing everything these days. I've noticed. If you guys haven't noticed that in the store, and I've talked about it, mentioned it before. The represses are like $40, $50 sometimes, when you can find an original that plays just as good for $5, $10, which doesn't make any sense to me. But that's another issue altogether. And lastly, I found this artist just by fooling. I listened to a alternative rock station in my car on the way to work and on the way back, or when I'm just driving around. And that's I discover some new music on there quite often. And one I discovered is Courtney Barnett, and she's a fantastic, with a new fantastical discovery for me anyway. She has some very good lyrics. Her writing's very good. She does all of her own writing, and I don't know what to compare her to. Some of her lyrical or writing and her songs reminds me of Bob Dylan a little bit, because she can sort of ramble on sometimes, like his earlier music during the 60s. I would say his 60s, what do you call it? I don't know if you call it protest music, but that's what some of her elements remind me of that. Bob Dylan, maybe some Nirvana mixed in, folksy. I don't really quite know how to describe her, but she's a very good person and music. She's from Australia. If you get a chance, check out some of her videos. And this one's called A Sea of Split Peas, and they grouped two of her earlier albums into a 2-album set. Now, if you want to look up something on YouTube, look up Avant Gardner. And then she has a new one out also, which I have coming in the mail, and I'll show you that whenever I get it. And those are the records. Now, also, I did pick up this movie box set, the complete collection, 146 episodes of In Search Of, hosted by Leonard Nimoy. Some of you might remember this and some of you might not. So far I've only opened one because I'm still watching it. These are DVDs, and it's the first DVD, In Search Of, and these are all on YouTube. Somebody has a channel and they have all 146 episodes on YouTube, so you can go on there. And sometimes I watch them on there too. They're like 20 minutes after they take out the commercials. And as I said, they're hosted by Leonard Nimoy. And I would consider this the grandfather of like these new TV shows out called Ancient Aliens, the Ghost Hunter ones where they're going around looking for ghosts. All this stuff about Bigfoot and all of that's on here too, and it's still relevant to this day, because they still haven't found Bigfoot, they still haven't found the Loch Ness Monster, they still haven't found the aliens. They still they know a little more, but little next to nothing about the pyramids, Stonehenge, that type of stuff, and that was all on this show, and it's very good. It's even better, I think, than some of the shows they show nowadays, like this one. Some of the episodes are Ancient Aviators, the Bermuda Triangle, Bigfoot, Killer Bees. That was really interesting. Earthquakes, The Mummy's Curse, Martians, Atlantis, Psychic Detectives, Learning, ESP, Nazi Plunder, Dracula, the Easter Island Massacre, Ghosts, Life After Death, Loch Ness Monster, UFOs, Voodoo, Inca Treasures, The Magic of Stonehenge. But I got that because that was one of my favorite shows I liked watching. It came on in the 70s when I was a kid. And it is hosted by Leonard Nimoy. And I highly recommend you watch some of those. Like I said, they're all on YouTube. You just type in search of, and there's somebody's channel will pop up, and they have all 146 episodes of this TV show. But I wanted the DVD box set, which is pretty cool. Another one, I hope they come out with Ripley's Believe It or Not. Remember, it was hosted by Jack Palance. I think that was was that the 80s? I think that was the 80s one, or early 90s. I hope they come out with those ones too, because I liked watching those also. And that's all I have to blabber on about tonight. Until next time, Colin, over and out, and Weirdos Unite.